Breaking, live, engaging. For all the top stories, don't miss Hannah Mansing tonight. Weeknights at 7 on CBC News Network.
A call to prayer rings out from mosques around the globe as the holy month of Ramadan officially begins. For the world of roughly 2 billion Muslims, Ramadan is a period of worship, reflection, and charity. The Prime Minister reached out today saying he wishes everyone observing Ramadan a blessed and peaceful month. Well, for Canadians plotting a escape, there is a hitch. Measles is exploding across some of the continent's most popular sun destinations, including both the U.S. and Mexico. Lauren Pelly looks at the risk and the steps some are taking to protect themselves.
How is it going?
If you're flying south this winter, watch out for an unwelcome traveler. Already in 2026, there are nearly 1,000 new cases of measles across the U.S., including hundreds of infections in South Carolina.
Our vaccination rates are so low that this outbreak just continues to spread and is the largest one in the U.S. currently.
This clinic is working to help contain the outbreak by getting
People.
more kids immunized with the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. But staff here say travel makes that tricky.
It's really important to make sure that they are
Same as this one, actually. Staple right now. There's already going to be soon here.
Including other vacation hotspots for Canadians. There's a growing outbreak at a university campus in southwest Florida and massive numbers of new infections in Mexico. The country has reported more than 2,700 cases since the start of the year. This vaccine has been amazing. And that's really important right now because people are thinking about going on holiday. Canada's acting chief public health officer offered this advice to those heading abroad. When you go to check your passport, check your vaccination status and check the status of everyone in your family who's there. For some Canadians, that's already the plan.
I would travel with my child without vaccination.
We maintain all of our vaccinations, and for our daughters,
We're gonna be fine, and I hope a lot of people have like that conscience and they got the vaccine.
If you're not vaccinated against measles, the risks are real. It's one of the world's most contagious infections and can lead to serious complications or even death. Alongside a telltale rash, measles can cause pneumonia,
He's on a
blindness,
rotation.
severe ear infections, and brain swelling. Unvaccinated infants are among those most at risk, but you can request an early extra dose before the standard 12-month shot.
It's definitely worth the peace of mind of not having a baby who might be harmed by a serious infection like measles.
A dangerous disease that no one wants to bring home from a holiday. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto. Now it's time to dig deeper into the story.
How's it going, people? I'm just doing some organizing tonight. And also, I have a Discord channel, Discord server. It's actually in my main profile page. If you guys want to join in on that as well, if you guys want to.
This should be the moment where American culture says, how did we let this happen? Millions of text and video files connected to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, released by the U.S. Justice Department, accusations and redactions. Eli Glasser breaks down what the Epstein files have revealed so far and what could happen next.
Billionaire Jeffrey Epstein arrested.
Jeffrey Epstein, the multi-millionaire, pleading not guilty.
We have to fight like hell.
So here we are.
the bill is passed.
The Epstein files have just been released. The Epstein files, all 3 million pages.
And actually, I'm doing pretty good, actually. Thanks for asking.
And as details of the notorious sex criminal's lifestyle and famous friends are revealed, many are asking, where are the consequences?
The reason we are here right now fighting for
justice is because everyone wanted to look away.
For years, what we knew about Jeffrey Epstein was shrouded by ongoing criminal investigation.
And
But in
hey,
2019, after Epstein was found dead in his prison cell, the push for the files began. According to the Department of Justice, the files were pulled from numerous cases investigating Epstein, his death, the case against his butler, and Ghislaine Maxwell, who was sentenced to 20 years for helping Epstein. So, what's in it? Well, behind this very simple webpage and search box are 180,000 images, 14 hours of video, and 3 million files. The CN Tower is 553 meters high. If you stack 3 million pages, it would reach up here.
so yeah,
Letter to Congress, the DOJ says it's collecting
how's everybody this evening?
that could be potentially responsive. Add in the roughly 500,000 pages that were already released, and that means there's still 2.5 million files that haven't been destroyed. We're talking about a ton of material with duplication and repetition, complete with everything from correspondence to Epstein and unverified allegations. And so that's why just merely being mentioned in the files is not a smoking gun. Search for Donald Trump, and there are thousands of mentions. Everything from news articles to unverified and extremely disturbing allegations collected by the FBI. But some aspects of Jeffrey Epstein and the company.
How's it going for you, buddy?
Nima Rahmani is a former federal prosecutor.
We've learned that Jeffrey Epstein rubbed elbows with some of the most rich and powerful men in the world.
In the emails and text messages, Epstein talked politics with Trump advisor Steve Bannon. Elon Musk asked about the best time for the wildest party on the island. Virgin founder and billionaire Richard Branson jokes with Epstein about bringing his harem. Former Prince Andrew, also shown here, asks about a beautiful Russian. And then there's the redaction. Jess Michaels was a dancer in New York City who says she was raped by Jeffrey Epstein in 1991.
You know, you said they finally released. Well, they finally released 50%. And the 50% that they did release, an inordinate redactions, like inordinate redactions. This is a victim statement. This victim statement was 7 pages long. 3 pages were completely blacked out like this. And in the victim statement, she says she feared for her life because of the abuse she was experiencing from wealthy and powerful men.
The redactions seem to be excessive. Under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the only information to be redacted is that which identifies victims of sex abuse or child pornography. Now, you have the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, the number 2 of the Department of Justice, Todd Blanche, saying that the Department of Justice is also redacting information pending ongoing investigations.
But Blanche, who once served as Trump's personal lawyer, has also said this.
In July, the Department of Justice said that we had reviewed the files, the quote Epstein files, and there was nothing in there that allowed us to prosecute anybody.
And yet, listen to Vermont's Becca Ballin, who, as a member of Congress, was able to read the unredacted files.
And honestly, it's just so depraved and it's sick and it's not a cabal. It's so much bigger than a cabal. It is a vast network of rich and powerful people believing they can do whatever they want.
This is what frustrates political analyst Molly Jong-Fast.
We should have hearings. We should have the whole point of the House oversight is that we should have hearings. We should know who these men are, right? There's a client list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Where's the client list? You know, why is the email about sex trafficking kid? You know, why is the sender redacted?
John Fast believes there's much more that could have been done.
I do think that if somebody looked at this information and wanted to find accountability and then was able to talk to these victims, you could make a case. But what's so incredibly infuriating about this whole story is clearly nobody ever wanted to make a case, right? Like they were like, Jeff's in jail, that's it.
Former prosecutor Romani says the DOJ has yet to release critical information.
I'm looking at those FBI 402s, the interview memos, some of which are completely blacked out. Again, it strikes me as potentially excessive. I would like to see what those documents contain. I would have also expected to see more video of Epstein Island, who was coming, who was leaving.
As to why there haven't been more charges, Romani says moving forward with criminal prosecution requires a vital element.
We need a victim who's willing and able to testify in court. Criminal cases and civil law witness testimony.
But Epstein survivors say they've not been contacted by the Department
I
of
found more
Justice.
staples.
Raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
Are not backing down.
Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand.
We do anticipate more people being prosecuted, very much so.
They're also thinking bigger.
I think each one of us is grappling with what justice looks like for us. And for me, it means how do we make sure something like this never happens again?
And that's part of
So much character I had to go through.
the story of a man who left decades of trauma.
DJ, you guys an insight here.
Not a conspiracy, but perhaps something worse.
Like this box here is mostly done already. I got this one here. Then I got that whole corner to somewhat go through still. So yeah, and that's like a bombshell right now, but I'm kind of want to get that dealt with actually.
We need to look at the way we treat sex crimes, and we need to reassess the way we treat women.
Now, it's important to add many of the men mentioned in the file say they cut off ties with Epstein and were not aware of any child abuse. Although at the same time, the files show Epstein maintained his network of powerful friends long after he finished his sentence in 2009, where as part of it, Adrian was registered as a sex offender.
So it can be a little hard to keep up, but there's a lot going on with these files. What is the next step?
Well, all eyes are going to be on Congress next week, next Thursday and Friday. Former U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife Hillary will be testifying as part of an ongoing congressional investigation.
Okay, that will be watched. Eli Gotcha, thank you. Question. There's mounting evidence tonight that Donald Trump's ongoing threats of annexation and economic ruin are wearing on Canadians. As Karen Pauls found out, a growing number are feeling fearful and pretty anxious.
Canada lives because of the United States.
Prime Minister Carney in Canada came to President Trump.
Why don't you just join our country from the 51st state?
My Canadian heart just got ripped apart.
Lily Lexu is a French Canadian originally from Montreal. So she's working and living in Los Angeles as a bilingual voice actress. She's feeling helpless and scared when she hears the Trump administration threatening annexation and economic ruin.
Any talk of assaulting my country in any way, whether it's economic or territorially, I mean, I could cry right now.
She's not the only one struggling. A recent poll shows 4 out of 5 Canadians are feeling more fear than hope about the Canada-US relationship in the year ahead. Canadians were asked if they feel Trump will pursue more military operations, like in Venezuela, or if they feel that was an isolated incident. 3/4 say they expect more to come.
We're in a world now where
That might be my.
powers are just
I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's definitely textured
where I think
and everything. So
are going
definitely putting this in my trade binder. Hope someone trade for it, something.
Greenland. Some, like Titus the Lulu, say they're worried about northern sovereignty. Inuit in Canada would be impacted, he says. If you look at Alaska, it's an American state. And if Greenland were to become an American state, Canada is right in the middle. Then there are newcomers who know what happens when threats become reality.
We have to go somewhere else to just stay safe.
Yaroslav Zhovner, his wife and 3 children moved from Ukraine to Winnipeg in 2022. They chose Canada because it was safe. But now he says he's hearing similarities between threats from the Trump administration and what Russian President Vladimir Putin was saying ahead ahead of the invasion and annexation of the Crimean Peninsula in 2014 and the invasion of Ukraine in 2022.
Now we can see what's happening.
Jobner says his wife feels a lot of anxiety and his children have questions. All he can do is tell them they're safe.
We try to do as best as we can and keep working, keep living.
It feels really vulnerable.
Carolyn Clausen says those are valid feelings that can feel even worse if someone has already experienced violation, disrespect, and lack of consent.
There's always something to be grateful about in our families and in our neighborhoods. But nowadays there's this extra layer of global threat that is new to many of us. So for people who have experienced global conflict in their neighborhoods and then came here for safety, this can be a very difficult time.
While it's important to stay informed and understand how the threats and insecurity impact people, Clausen also recommends managing news and social media consumption, finding people or a community for support.
How's it going, everyone?
And we need each other like food, water, and oxygen. And when we share our distress, we are able to manage it better.
Lily Webster says she's practicing self-care, eating well, doing yoga.
I'm also thinking at some point in the future, just don't know when yet, don't hold me to my word or anything, but I might be actually doing a giveaway at some point. I was thinking once I probably hit 150 subscribers, I might just do a Q&A, and by that point, I may make my decision of a giveaway. I don't normally would do it, but that's what I'm thinking right now.
Significant dissatisfaction with Trump, but they are twice as likely to be hopeful about the upcoming year than Canadians. Coming up, a new plan by Ottawa to use landline telephones to report border crossings is drawing the ire of some residents of remote communities.
We all have smartphones. They're super easy. So I think an access one is where we need to go.
Why crossing the border is soon going old school. Next.
On the Dragon's Den 2-part special,
I think we officially arrived.
the show's most successful pitchers return to the den.
7 minutes on Dragon's Den changed my life, and I want to do that for someone else.
Dragon's Den Full Circle, new episode February 26th.
This is Tim, and everything he does is fast. He works at Casino Days in the payouts department. Dresses fast. Eats fast. Cleans fast. So, when you get paid out fast, you can thank Tim. So, Casino Days. Casino Days. Fast.
We stand for the true and north, the cities and skylines, the strong and free. For those who value the story and source, the opinion and fact, the context, talent and potential, drive and direction. We are the one and only the Globe and Mail. What shapes your world? It's revolutionary. It's brand by Dempsters. Redesigned for crust to grow. Bread Pro. The best invention since sliced bread. You'll try anything for nighttime cold and flu relief. Or at least your partner will. Hallelujah. Get fast multi-symptom relief with new Buckley's Nighttime Complete Plus Mucus. It tastes soft and it works.
Hi-ho, Ontario. DraftKings has everything you've been hunting for in one casino app. Take your pick from thousands of games. Hit the reels with slots like Cash Eruption. Or check out DraftKings exclusives you won't find anywhere else. Play your favorite casino games wherever your adventures take you. You're on the trail to a whole new world of fun. Scan the QR code to download the app, then experience the action of DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours.
Being black in Canada A space for news, documentaries, arts, and more. Celebrating a uniquely Canadian perspective on Black issues with the cultural moments that matter to Black Canadians. Visit cbc.ca/being Black in Canada.
Local news is in decline, and this is bad news for all of us. That's why CBC News is putting more journalists in more places across Canada, because local news is big news.
Residents of a remote Minnesota community forced to cross through Canada to live their daily lives.
Go to school, grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, go see their health.
Concerns a new telephone-based border crossing plan would lead them
If you were in an emergency, you'd be getting a little antsy.
Karen Paul breaks down Ottawa's new remote border crossing plan and why both residents and tourism operators think it's out of touch.
It's 8 a.m. and Jason Goulet is taking clients ice fishing. Goulet is not happy Ottawa is scrapping a border entry program that made it easy for people like him to travel into and through Canada.
Go to school, grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, go see your health. You have a family of 10. There's almost somebody traveling every day.
Northwest Angle is the only part of the U.S. outside of Alaska north of the 49th parallel. 3 sides surrounded by Canada with no road connecting it to the rest of Minnesota. So if you want to drive here, the only way is through Manitoba. Right now, Goulet and about 100 or so year-round residents are part of Canada's Remote Area Border Crossing Program. It pre-clears them to freely cross the border in 5 remote areas. There are about 11,000 permits issued each year, 90% of them to Americans. But in September, that ends. People will have to stop at the nearest Canadian border station or use a telephone reporting site like this one.
If I catch 4 or 5 of these today,
Some tourists get pre-cleared, but others have to wait in line to use designated phones to call Canada Customs.
we were there for over 2 hours that time. So luckily we didn't have to get anywhere quick to get home. But if you were in an emergency, you'd be getting a little antsy.
Indigenous communities are also concerned. Under the Jay Treaty of 1794, First Nations people are guaranteed the right to cross the Canada-US border freely. But that's also complicated these days.
I'm sure people with status cards kind of have a lengthier time to cross. So I think that's why, for me, it's been a little bit easier to cross, just because I do have the Nexus card and I do rely on my ABC too.
This restaurateur says there's an easy solution. Do what the Americans do.
2026, right? We've been working with apps. We all have smartphones. They're super easy. So I think an app is really easy. Ottawa says this is all part of a $1.3 billion security upgrade, in part because of pressure from U.S. President Donald Trump. But folks here don't think swapping free clearance for a phone call will bolster the border. The Canadian government says it is consulting with Indigenous communities, local businesses, and law enforcement partners to determine the locations of the new telephone reporting sites. Well, coming up, a Canadian Olympic athlete becomes an internet knitting sensation.
So my application to be a knit influencer.
This is kind of cool, actually.
The games and next in our moment.
I know it's uncommon and all, but just randomly, just there.
Take your casino experience to the next level.
Korean Mew. Oh, this whole stack is like Korean. Like, Like all these are pretty much like Korean. It's getting closer. You can probably get a kiss you death. Yes,
February 16th to 22nd, save 20% on regular price merchandise. Promo code PETS20. Options begin today. Online only at PETS.ca.
this will be definitely several days of just organizing.
Those who worried about their investments. And those who chose some peace of mind. Smart investors hold gold. Beats on the brain. Get it out of your head. See Giuseppe, eat Giuseppe. We spent the last 60 years making some of the safest vehicles on the road. So you could
So,
having fun.
how's everybody? Like I said before, I got a Discord server if you guys want to join on that one. And also, yeah, I have a trading page. I got a notification page when I go live or post something. There's general chat. You know, bunch of little areas that people can go to. That should be on my YouTube page. When you go to my page and all that, it should be in like the top area of it.
And I'm Shamir Anderson. This is the Legacy Lounge. Each episode, we will sit down with a different visionary change maker and get a huge impact on the culture.
My girl, my baby. Can you believe it?
Being a pretty popular guy, Adam Ronell is a Canadian Olympic biathlete. He has garnered a lot of attention online, not just because of his sport, but for his hobby at the games, knitting. So when he's not racing, he's been working on a sweater. He's documented his knitting journey online, his Olympic pastime.
Just randomly One Piece, some odd reason I have in this collection. Jeez, I just found more Korean. Jesus Christ.
I've been basically trying to get that done as fast as I can. And it was going quite well pre-games. Now that we're in the Olympic Village, I'm a little bit busier. I've been slipping a little bit, but racing is over now for me, so I can get back on the heavy knitting grind. People seem to like it.
It's like random.
I'm getting like bombarded with I made a few biathlon fans, so that's been nice. So everything I do for fun is active. It's nice to have something that I enjoy and is like fun to do, and I get to create something where I can also sit on the couch.
Okay, let me nerd out here for a moment because Olympians are notorious knitters. The great Kaya Tursky, the Canadian fantastic knitter, the British diver Thomas Daly, great knitter. In fact, he's the one who knit the gloves and the scarves for British athletes at Milano Cortina. From all of us at the National, thanks for being with us. I'm Adrian Arson. Take care.
Welcome back to Hollywood Squares. Andrew has bagged up a cool $2,500. That's right. But now it is time to play the bonus round, where you will have a chance at adding $25,000 to the bank. All right, Andrew. So, any idea what you would do with all this money?
Yeah, I'm a bartender.
Okay.
And I really would love to be a proprietor of my own pub.
Nice.
So
open up that. Alright, Andrew, here's how the bonus round works. You're going to have 60 seconds. I will read a statement about each star. All you have to do is agree or disagree. For everyone that you get correct, you will earn that square. Now, every star up there is holding an envelope. Only one of them holds a card worth $25,000. Yeah. You ready to play? I'm so ready to play. You look ready to play. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Okay, here we go. Whitney Houston once auditioned for a Francis Ford Coppola movie. Agree? Correct. Ariana DeBose recorded a one-woman barbershop quartet album. Disagree. Correct. Joe Boyd has an honorary doctorate degree from Ringling Brothers Clown College. Agree? Incorrect. Joe Real was once chased by a razor-wielding barber.
Definitely side I could be having a massive headache. It's from Protected Pikachu, actually.
Fortune Feimster is a trained cowboy. Agree. Incorrect. Arsenio Hall started his entertainment career as a magician. Incorrect. Tiffany Haddish says before hooking up, she cleans her partners with baking soda and peroxide. Correct. Miss Pat once lent a bra to Dolly Parton. Incorrect. That's okay. That's okay. You got 5 squares. Stars. Show us the money. Ariana. Laurel. Drew. All right, Tiffany. Listen, I'm sorry you did not win the $25,000, but you're still going home with the $2,500 and the Caribbean cruise. So let's see who actually has the winning envelope. Who had it?
So yeah,
Oh, it was Fortune. Hey, thank you
so
for
much
joining
carries.
us. We appreciate you. Andrew, thank you to all the stars. And of course, our Center Square 2 Barrymore. I'm your host, Nick Wilson. Join us next time on Hollywood Squares. I'm going to call you.
This is gonna probably be a staple in end of next month when standard rotation hits. Like really, I just found 2 more One Pieces. I don't even play One Piece, and for some reason I have them.
I'm disappointed. I think that we have an election process for a reason.
Tonight, an Edmonton MP crosses the floor while Matt Genereux says he's ditching the Conservatives for the Liberals. And the reaction from his constituents.
There's a very good opportunity for us to receive. I mean, it could be hundreds of millions depending on the level of investment.
Also, with Ottawa investing billions in new defense spending, why some in our city say they're uniquely positioned to attract a good portion of that cash. And Canada's men's hockey team with a nail-biting win in overtime to advance to Olympic semifinals, who they'll face in the next round.
You're watching Global Edmonton. This is Global News at 11.
Good evening, and thanks for being with us tonight. A local member of Parliament has crossed the floor to join the federal Liberal Party just months after saying he wouldn't. The Prime Minister met with Matt Genereux at YEG to make the announcement, with the longtime politician leaving the Conservatives. As David Aiken reports, it puts the Liberals 1 seat closer to a majority.
The deal to pull Edmonton MP Matt Genereux from the Conservatives over to the Liberals has been in the works for nearly 3 months. But when the Conservatives learned last November that Genereux was about to cross the floor, they confronted him. And rather than cross the floor at the time, Genereux announced his intention to resign his seat, a resignation that he said would take place sometime early this year.
There he is.
But now, Genereux said he will not quit. He's going to stay on as an MP on the government benches. A decision, he said, was confirmed when he heard Prime Minister Mark Carney's speech in Davos.
I think for me, that's where a lot of the world changed. I think it opened a lot of eyes with me.
Carney has given Genereux a new role as a special advisor on economic and security partnerships.
Welcome, Matt. Welcome to the government team. It's a great honor.
Genereux is now the third Conservative to quit on Pierre Poilievre since last spring's election. That is unprecedented. Poilievre put up a social media post saying, quote, Genereux has betrayed the people of Edmonton Riverbend. Now, to the House of Commons math. You need 172 seats for a majority. In Genereux's addition, the Liberals have 169. But there are 3 seats vacant in the House. And if the Liberals can win all 3, they will have that 172. But one of those seats is held by the Speaker, who normally does not vote, which means the Liberals really need one more floor crosser, plus those 3 by-elections, in order to have a working majority that would let the Liberals pass any budget bill or other legislation without the help of the opposition. David Aiken, Global News, Ottawa.
Now the General has crossed sides. The constituents of Edmonton Riverbend have mixed feelings about the move. Catherine Ludwig explains.
Edmonton now has 2 Liberal MPs in the House of Commons as Max Genereux crosses the floor to join Mark Carney's caucus, solidified with a meeting at Edmonton's airport Wednesday morning. Genereux represents the Edmonton Riverbend riding. Last year, he won a 3rd consecutive term with the Conservative Party, getting 50% of the vote, the Liberal candidates taking 44%. Some of his constituents say they feel wronged by the move.
I think that if someone's going to cross the floor, the proper and ethical thing to do is to resign, and we move on to a by-election in the riding.
I feel like if you're a member of parliament, you gotta at least see through what you're doing, right? People voted for you, they voted for you because you're part of the party.
But others say this gives Edmonton a louder voice at the table.
It's good news. Going from having a MP in almost a backbench setting to an MP into the governing party, even if he doesn't get a post, still gives us as constituents a louder voice.
People commenting on Genereux's social media announcement about the switchover also have mixed reviews. Many of them saying they voted in support of him as a person and not the party he was running for. Edmonton's Mayor Andrew Knack says it'll be one more Edmonton voice at the caucus table.
Thinking about the level of investments we need to see in Edmonton, having another voice and having a long-term voice who's been a very strong voice for this entire city.
With Genereux's addition, the Liberals now hold 169 seats in the House of Commons. That's just 3 seats shy of the majority. It's now bringing Alberta's total of Liberal-held seats in the House of Commons up to 4 and bringing the total number of Conservative-held seats for Alberta down to 32. Catherine Ludwig, Global News.
Premier Danielle Smith says immigration will be part of her province-wide address to Albertans tomorrow night. Smith reacting to online comments made by 2 of her staff members. The Premier's Chief of Staff reposted data on immigration to Canada, urging people to watch the Premier's address and adding, quote, this insanity needs to stop. Her executive director also posting why import from nations with failed systems when our Judeo-Christian heritage and principles have worked so well here. Smith says there are plenty of challenges the province is facing ahead of next week's budget, including low oil prices and growing expenses.
Our expenses have been growing faster than our revenue growth. And part of that is and we've had the fastest growing population in Canada, adding 600,000 new people in the last 4 years alone. I think there's only one country in the world that has exceeded the level of population growth that Canada has had. And so this clearly needs to change. This is not sustainable. So I'll have more to say about that in the address, and then we'll begin the conversation with Albertans about what needs to happen next.
Policy experts aren't sure how much authority Alberta would have over immigration, but say social services for newcomers
could be within the province's purview.
We're hearing indications, particularly from Rob Anderson, that she's going to focus on immigration and somehow link the budget deficit to immigration and make some immigration plans. She has views about limiting social services for immigrants. The speculation at the time was changes to the driver's license or citizenship status was about being able to deny social services. The government said, no, that wasn't the case. It was just to make life easier for everybody. But is that what she announces?
While in Calgary today, Federal Transport Minister Steve McKinnon stood by Canada's immigration policies. Industry leaders in Edmonton are responding to Prime Minister Mark Carney's proposed investment in Canada's defense strategy. The multi-billion-dollar plan has a Canada-first approach, and local businesses are hoping to position themselves to be a part of that investment. Jasmine King reports.
The city and local industry leaders are looking to position Edmonton to be a defense hub.
When it comes to defense, you think about the level of investment that can go into that space, into the businesses that we've already been developing here. It's incredible opportunities.
It comes after Prime Minister Mark Carney's $6.6 billion investment in Canada's defense strategy. Wednesday, Mayor Andrew Knapp joined industry and commercial partners to launch the Edmonton Region Defense Alliance. They're not sure what such a plan would mean for jobs or investment, but they're hopeful.
There's a very good opportunity for us to receive, it could be hundreds of millions, depending on the level of investment that we're seeing in the businesses in all of this connectivity.
We're already doing much of this work. So the bigger key was how do we pull all of these assets together?
The alliance says with Edmonton's location as the closest major city to the Arctic, the city is hoping to serve as a logistics hub for CFB Edmonton, Wainwright, and Fort Cold Lake. Currently, the Edmonton International Airport is finalizing the location of the Western Main operating base for the Royal Canadian Air Force at YAG. This is a more than generational tranche of development at our airport, which will create numerous jobs, but also numerous tangential opportunities to co-locate other maintenance, manufacturing, or logistics facilities.
How's it going?
In terms of education, the U of A hopes to expand on the defense research it already does.
We at the university partner with companies to advance their technologies here in Canada, here in Alberta, so that they can have more relevant technology then to go back into these procurements. So there's a direct research collaboration.
While the exact procurement still have to be determined, local industry partners are hoping to set themselves up for success now.
The spotlight really is now on Edmonton and our natural assets, and all of the work that we've already been doing to accelerate that spending and make sure that Edmonton companies, industry has a piece of that pie.
Jasmine King, Global News.
Edmonton city officials say they were able to get a bit ahead of snow clearing following our most recent storm and provided an update earlier today.
We are currently 78% through Priority 1 roadway inventory and 60% through Priority 1 active pathways inventory. Both internal trucks and hired equipment graders will continue today and throughout the night and continuing on up to the 5 days timeline for Priority 1 to 3 completion for roadways and Priority 1 to 3 completion for active pathways.
As for residential streets, the city says they will be evaluating snowpack, safety conditions, and roughing on Friday before making decisions on whether to groom the roads or institute a phase 2 parking ban. A 57-year-old man from Stony Plain is dead after a collision north of Edmonton. It happened around 3:30 on Tuesday afternoon on Highway 813 near Township Road 691. According to RCMP, a transport truck had pulled over and the 57-year-old driver was checking on a motorist in the ditch. Afterward, he was clearing snow off his rear of his trailer when a pickup slammed into him, pinning him against his vehicle. He died on the way to hospital. A 41-year-old man from Edmonton was driving the pickup and wasn't injured. There was poor visibility at the time of the crash. Edmonton police are looking to the public for information regarding a shooting in the city's southeast. Just after 6 p.m. on Friday, police were called to the Walmart on 50th Street Southwest and Watt Common, where they located a 32-year-old man who had been shot. The man was taken to hospital with injuries. Police say they do not appear to be life-threatening. Officers say the incident doesn't appear random. They are looking for any
dash cam or security footage of the area between 6 and 7 p.m. Friday night. We are now less than 2 weeks away from the official start of wildfire season in this province. Alberta Wildfire says forecasts are showing warmer and drier conditions ahead, so they're in preparation mode following 3 consecutive years of harsh fire seasons. Cabby Malathern has more.
Well, despite the chilly temperatures and snow this week, Alberta Wildfire says the province has seen an above seasonal temperatures for most of the winter. The agency says we're expected to see more of it. That's a concern for high fire danger, so they're on guard, especially because of what they saw in the last 3 years. This graph by the agency shows over the last 3 years, fire has burned
Just found 3 Korean full arts. Definitely use this trade bait for sure. Or maybe I could set them out to PSA and never know.
has seen more snowfall than average, which is helpful, but the agency says we're expected to move into an El Nino trend, meaning warmer and drier weather for the spring and summer. There is greater concern for southern Alberta based on record-breaking heat earlier this month, prompting fire advisories. Officials say if we see a 4th consecutive harsh season, the resources will be limited.
We saw a lot of activity in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. There was a huge demand for resources. And so certainly when you have a wildfire season that affects the entire country, there are a lot of people looking for those resources.
Wildfire Information Officer Christine Tucker adds that the province's recent announcement to contract additional water bomber crews is helpful. Now, 26 fires have started this year. Most have been extinguished. 15 fires carried from last year are still active. Crews say the overall wildfire danger this season will all depend on the amount of rainfall we get this spring. Cabby Malathern, Global News.
All right, time now to check with Joelle with a look at the forecast. And okay, so that winter storm that we got walloped with has moved on. Yes. But it left behind a little gift, that cold air.
I love the gift of frigid air. Thank you very much to that winter storm. That's right. Most of Alberta under some severely cold conditions, in fact, dangerously cold conditions. Hey, let's start off with a nice photo. Why don't we? I'm going to bring in some good news and a beautiful photo. This is just east of Jasper. Love this photo sent in by one of our viewers. Absolutely gorgeous. Rebecca, thank you so much for sending this in. And Rebecca even mentioned she took this on her phone and didn't do any edits. So that tells us something, just the natural beauty of our beautiful province. Now let's talk cold, why don't we? Here's the almanac for Edmonton. Minus 24 as the warmest point in the day, but that comes with a caveat, and that is that it feels 10 degrees cooler than the temperatures you're seeing on the spring. Typically around -3 this time of year with a low of -12, so well below seasonal, and that allows for these weather alerts. So this yellow warning for extreme cold is blanketing Edmonton, moving down south to Red Deer, and then all the way up to the border with the Northwest Territories and spanning over the border with Saskatchewan. These wind chill values will be below -40 overnight, moderate Thursday during the day, and drop again for the evening. So here's your next 24 hours. You're looking at a -39 wind chill overnight and waking up to a -33 wind chill in the morning. I'll leave you with the next 3 days here up to -13 on Friday. Mixes up cloud all 3 days and a -16 on Saturday. Thanks, Joel. We are introducing new categories designed to meet and support Canada's evolving needs.
Ottawa has announced changes to the country's immigration strategy. What roles in industries the feds are focusing on to try and close critical labor gaps.
911 is faced nearly every emergency imaginable. And this year, these first responders will be back on the front line.
911, what is your emergency?
Kathy Bates returns in Matlock, and Carrie Preston is back in Elspeth. February 26th on Global.
Youth Empowerment and Support Services provides 24/7 access to food, clothing, intake and stabilization beds, and supportive resources for youth in crisis in Edmonton. Now, YES needs our help to begin offering on-site mental health support so that youth can get the help they need when they need it. Please help YES break the cycle of trauma for youth in crisis. Visit yes.org/support. If you are youth in need of help, visit yes.org or call 211.
Yeah.
Amazing.
For penguins, true love can start with a song. Meet Lenny. He's looking for love, but there's just one problem. He can't sing. Get ready for the adventure with Penguins, a love story in IMAX 3D. Now playing in Telus World of Science Edmonton.
Control to Major Tom. We took our first steps, brave steps, bold steps, in 2001, accomplishing the extraordinary. Today, we lead in pediatric organ transplants and many other specializations. Now imagine the possibilities in a space of our own. Help us launch the new Stollery Children's Hospital with no bounds to what we'll accomplish next.
You're watching Global News and All.
The Alberta government has launched a new online portal for seniors and their families to find living-assisted and continuing care. While the move is being applauded, as Drew Stremick reports, some trying to navigate the system say the problems go deeper.
With the launch of a new online portal, officials responsible for Alberta's continuing care sector are hoping a labyrinth of questions and healthcare providers will become easier to navigate.
One of the things we discovered is that a family is supposed to pick their top 3 choices of the care facility that they want to go to, and then basically just be waiting and calling every day to see if the bed comes open.
The Assisted Living Navigation Portal will allow Albertans to enter their postal code or answer a survey in order to determine what kind of care they require based on their needs.
Look and see if they've got events, dining, recreation, fitness ability, or any of the other amenities that the home has to offer.
Right now, the features of the portal are limited, but more information and capabilities are expected to roll out in additional phases. And being able to more easily access that information is one step towards modernizing the system.
I was stunned to realize that there was no system to manage the 30,000 plus continuing care beds that we manage all across this province.
And while easier access to information is welcomed, critics argue this doesn't address the core problems within the system.
What are they navigating to? There's structural issues within long-term care that have been pointed to by the Auditor General around short staffing and issues in the quality of care.
And information only takes you so far.
What good is a navigation portal if you find out the only option is an expensive private for-profit care home that you can't afford?
But Mr. Nixon argues this is just one step towards more change.
Every government, including Rachel Notley's government, Jason Kenney's government, Premier Smith's government, increased continuing care capital dollars and operating dollars in every provincial budget, recognizing our aging rates. HS did not invest that money inside continuing care facilities.
Albertans can find the navigation portal on the Government of Alberta's website. Drew Stremick, Global News.
There are renewed calls tonight to release more information on the mental health and gun issues raised by the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting. As Romina Daya reports, there are still unanswered questions about the guns that were previously seized from the shooter's home and then returned.
8 homicide victims, including 6 innocent children. Disturbing questions linger about how the killer, 18-year-old Jesse Van Bootsalar, obtained the guns. Global News has learned there is a sealing order on the file which could explain why the RCMP seized weapons from the killer's home and why they were returned.
There is a huge, compelling public interest for transparency, for accountability, for the release of everything, and for answers to all questions.
The public still in the dark about whether 2 of the 4 guns connected to the homicides were previously in police custody. Retired RCMP Superintendent Russ Graf believes this is an opportunity for BC's Attorney General to inquire about the unsealing of documents before social media hijacks the truth.
And we'll end up with nonsensical conclusions like the RCMP have blood on their hands for getting weapons back, when in fact that's not what happened.
Last week, the Mounties revealed guns had been seized from the killer's home under the criminal code, but later returned after his rightful owner went to court. Alex, not saying if it was the teen's mother who applied to the court to have the guns returned. She had a valid firearms license. It's also unknown if the court was aware of her son's serious mental health issues, including apprehensions and police concerns over self-harm.
I think whatever rights and rights remain, this situation could easily be outweighed by the public's interest in this matter. The Canadian public has a right to know.
Right now, the important thing is that the police are investigating and they have investigative tools to get to the bottom of questions that I know the public has.
If not, the Attorney General vowing to respond. No timeline given.
An update now on one of the victims of the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting fighting for her life in Children's Hospital. 12-year-old Maya Gabala's mother says her daughter has been moved into a new section of the hospital, one for recovery instead of goodbye. She says, quote, "This to me is acknowledgement that she is fighting and refuses to quit." However, she also says Maya is still not showing any movement on her right side. Maya's brain was significantly damaged by the shooting. A GoFundMe page for her recovery has now raised about $435,000. A rock slide has closed Highway 93 in both directions near the Rainy Hot Springs. The incident taking place about 1 kilometer north of the hot springs between the west boundary of the Kootenay National Park and McKay Creek. No one is believed to have been injured when the rocks fell. Motorists are advised to detour Gladys Golden. Government is making changes to its immigration application policy. Occupational categories are being added to the Express Entry program to prioritize top talent. They include a variety of professions, including doctors, researchers, and skilled military recruits. Jillian Piper reports on what it could mean for Canada's critical labor gap.
That drums, I can say drum roll.
The immigration minister building some suspense while unveiling Ottawa's plan to target more international workers.
We are using the tools at our disposal to attract talent that grows our economy.
Those tools include creating new Immigration Express entry categories for doctors, researchers, senior managers, and transport occupations like pilots with work experience in Canada, along with skilled military recruits with job offers from the Canadian Armed Forces.
I see that this is a targeted evidence-based strategy. So these categories are not random. They are informed by the labor market data.
The data shows some concerning labor gaps. The Armed Forces needs about 13,000 more members to be at full capacity, while the family doctor shortage is also expected to increase to 47,800 vacancies across Canada by 2033. But this economics professor questions whether the changes were really necessary, given the existing immigration system already had rankings in place to favor skilled workers.
What I'd rather see is we get back to revising the comprehensive ranking system and move away from these kind of boutique categories of immigration, which maybe make nice press releases for the government.
Ultra citizenship.
While Ottawa is hoping to attract top talent, the government is not increasing overall immigration levels, instead sticking to the reduced targets laid out in the November budget of 380,000 new permanent residents per year, a drop of 15,000 people.
Maybe hundreds of thousands of new careers.
It's unclear if there is cross-Canada buy-in on the new measures.
I have continued to work with all provinces and all territories since coming in this position in the last 9 months.
Immigration will likely continue to play a role in growing the workforce for years to come, as Canada currently has a record low fertility rate at 1.25 children per woman. Jillian Piper, Global News, Ottawa.
Overtime in the Olympics, the Canadian men's hockey team went down to the wire against Czechia. A recap of the big stories from the Winter Games.
Time consuming.
For 125 years, the Royal Alex has cared for us. Now it's your turn to care back. Visit givetheroyalalex.org and make your gift today.
Today I'm showing you the power of transformation in this kitchen. We took out a 20-foot wall, we added a 10-foot island, which is the perfect meeting place for friends and family.
At Town and Country Kitchens, we transform homes and we transform lives.
They'll never figure me out. I might as well be written in Spanish.
I switched to Aqua Energy like 3 months ago. Their bills are easy to understand, and there's no hidden fees. So,
Rude. Somebody spent their comment here.
Venue at River Creek Resort and Casino is your entertainment destination. Celebrating 25 years of country hits. Don't miss Gord Bathurst's 25th anniversary celebration tour from chart toppers to fan favorites. It's a night of stories, songs, and true Canadian country. Celebrate the memory March 20th. Don't miss out. Tickets now at rivercreekresort.com.
My Jeep Grand Cherokee L always leaves room for family fun. The 4x4 winter event is on now at your Alberta Jeep dealer. Get no payments for 90 days on a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. See your Edmonton Jeep dealer for more details.
Sound the brain. Get it out of your head. See Giuseppe, eat Giuseppe. Closed captioning of this program is brought to you by Lux Windows, a company born and bred and made in Alberta.
What a day for Canada at the Winter Olympics. There was triumph on the speed skating short track. Canada won a gold and a bronze medal. And in men's hockey, it was a nail biter as Canada looked like it might lose the quarterfinal game and get knocked out. Then it was tied. Then it went into overtime. Mike Armstrong was one of the countless Canadian fans watching.
Actually, I have to double check actually.
Nick Suzuki tied it up with a tip, just 3 minutes remaining, and it was Mitch Marner in overtime, crossing the blue line. Let's go, Canada, let's go! Now there's an Irish pub here in Milan that's being turned into a sort of Canadian pub. This was the moment the winning goal was scored. That was pretty close. How are we feeling?
Relieved now, yeah. Extremely stressful. We didn't think it was going to be this difficult, but we're glad they pulled it out. That was exciting. That was awesome.
Stressful, but the most amazing outcome. Adversity, we battled through, we got the win. That's all we can ask for.
Well, there was a negative from the game, an injury to Team Canada's captain. Sidney Crosby left the game early in the second period with what appeared to be a leg injury. Now, Canada's success on the short track rink continued Wednesday. The women's relay team lost the lead late in the 3,000 meter relay, but won the bronze medal. It was gold in the men's 500 meter final. Stephen Dubois already had a silver in the mixed team relay. Tonight he won his first individual medal and his fourth gold of these games. Now there is at least one medal coming tomorrow. Canada's women's hockey team plays against the U.S. in the final. The silver is guaranteed, but against their bitter rivals, there is only one thing they'll be thinking about: gold. Mike Armstrong, Global News. Go on.
The Olympics are over for Leon Draisaitl. Germany losing 6-2 to Slovakia in their quarterfinal. Slovakia scored 3 times in the second period to take a 4-goal lead. Draisaitl had an assist in the game and finished with 7 points in 5 games in his Olympic debut. Fellow Oiler Josh Szymanski had a goal and an assist at the tournament. Just like Canada, the United States escaping their quarterfinal matchup with an overtime win. Quinn Hughes scoring the winner against Sweden. The Americans will face Slovakia in the other semi. Staying on the ice, the Canadian women's curling team beating Italy 8-7 in an extra end after the Italians scored 3 in the 10th to tie it. Canada's victory improves the Rachel Homan Rinks record to 5-3, which puts them in a tie for third with South Korea and the United States. Canada's final round robin game is a must-win matchup Thursday against South Korea. The top 4 teams advance to the playoffs. On the men's side, Brad Jacobs' rink improves to 7-1 in round robin play with an 8-3 victory over Italy. The Canadians will finish round robin play Thursday against Norway, then they'll play in the semifinals on the same day. The Oilers have brought back a familiar face to their coaching staff. Paul Coffey is returning behind the bench as an assistant. Coffey was an Oilers assistant coach the previous 2 seasons with a focus on the team's blue line. He stepped down from the role this summer to resume his previous responsibility as a special advisor to ownership and hockey operations.
I've got a lot of respect for Paul. My time working with him, I didn't know him before, but obviously I liked working with him. I thought between the two of us and this coaching staff that we've had in the past, we've got the most out of the guys.
I think it's valuable for everyone. Been there for a while now. Knows everyone on the back end, so I think it's it's helpful bringing in rather than someone who doesn't really don't understand the name.
It's obviously an injection of energy, and he's a very good communicator. His resume speaks for itself. So we're excited to have him back.
Coffey's return comes at a time when Edmonton is struggling defensively. They're allowing the 8th most goals per game, and they gave up 4 or more goals in 6 of 7 contests before the Olympic break.
Where our team is at right now, we're just kind of okay. We feel like we need a little something to push us over, give us a little something. To be honest, it's got to be first on us and taking accountability. Myself and all of us included. There's a lot more that we can be doing and be at the championship level. There's a lot more that needs to come from us first.
Sports is brought to you by Jandel Homes. See the difference. Visit jandelhomes.com.
African culture and Zimbabwean-styled Maroomba came to life at S. Bruce Smith School today. Performers from the Izmi Arts Society brought African culture and music to the school for Black History Month. Students watched performers highlight Black culture with traditional music and instruments.
It is very important to get the kids involved, not just Black kids, but also kids from another African descent, because you're not just educating them, but also letting them feel what it feels like to be in those spaces.
It's important for students to recognize the diversity of Edmonton and of our school.
This event was in partnership with the Africa Center for Black History Month. All right, time to check in with Joelle, take a look at the forecast, and sort of one of those, what you see is what you get for the days ahead. It's more cold, more cold, stay cold.
Winter felt like it had been held off for too long, so now it's here for a bit of an extended stay. And that means cold temperatures, but well below cold temperatures. We'll talk about frostbite risks in a couple of minutes here, but it is very high at these temperatures. Those exposed limbs, definitely try to avoid that because the frostbite risk is immediate. Now, this is a look at the Wednesday gorgeous looking shot. What I love about the prairies is how pretty it looks, even though it's still so frigid outside. So let's talk temperatures. So mid-afternoon, it was around minus 24 in Edmonton. But with the wind chill factored in, it felt closer to those minus 30. So very, very cold and not changing much. Actually, the coolest areas would be near Fort McMurray and areas in the northeast. So dropping down to minus 27 overnight low. But if you remember earlier on in the show, we're talking minus 39 in terms of that wind chill, that combination of the wind speeds coming from the east along with that cold Arctic air. So this pink contour really indicates anywhere from minus 20 and cooler. So tomorrow only up to minus 18 with a mix of sun and cloud in the minus 30s for the morning when you wake up. So let's talk about frostbite because it's very important this time of year. Risk of frostbite, and you are, I mentioned, sitting between at -28 to -39, and overnight perhaps moving into the -40s. So you could be looking at 5 to 10 minutes exposed skin at risk of frostbite sets in. So please be very aware. When you head the door, cover up, layer up, and dress accordingly for the conditions. Now here's a look in and around the city. -17 tomorrow in Grand Prairie, a mix of sun and cloud. -10 in Jasper, a little warmer as you head west. -19, some sunshine in Fort McMurray tomorrow, but very, very cold overnight. Look at that, dropping to the -40s, likely with the wind chill factor down in -22 for Lloydminster. Let's end on a 7-day forecast for Edmonton. Not seeing warmer air until midweek next week, so for now, settle in, grab a hot chocolate, and enjoy these cooler temperatures.
Wednesday, 0, might as well be +30. Thank you, Joelle. So we might think we have it bad outside right now, but on the East Coast, they're socked in with half a meter of snow. We'll take you inside the storm aftermath after this.
Hope you're having a wonderful day and staying warm. Coming up tomorrow on Global News Morning, our monthly segment, Ask the Educator, finding out why it's important and how it can help you to learn a second language.
Also, it is hard luck when a family will be dropping by, talking about their experience at the Starlight Children's Hospital.
And speaking of Heart Month, there is a spin-a-thon taking place at the Mazankowski. We will check in on that. That's all tomorrow on Global News Morning.
All we want is everything. Survivor, new season Wednesdays every week. It stinks when your neck hurts. So many things can happen, including sprains, strains, mechanical issues, disc herniations, and arthritis. Cool thing is, we went to school to figure this out. Mad skills, technology, and fun people who know how to fix these things, so you don't have to. Like you heard.
Dive into 888casino.net because it's made to fun. Award-winning slots. Discover a world of fun. It's made to master roulette. It's made to entertain. It's just made to play. 888casino.net.
Oh, honey, these appliances are incredible. I know. This must have all cost a fortune. It's included the washer, the dryer, the front landscaping, the blinds. We bought ours at the store, and then you have to this up there. Included. I have to go to the bathroom. I wouldn't do that, honey.
Introducing another quantum leap in performance, the Jane Built Complete Home, new for 2026. Honey, are you okay?
Not really. Sometimes life takes you on a journey off-road. Lets you cruise on a paved road. Lets you climb to new heights on a dirt road. And enjoy the comfort of a road home. Take on all the roads of life with Jeep's legendary 4x4 capability. Because the Wrangler is for every road. Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2025 Jeep Wrangler. Plus, make no payments for 90 days.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Edo Japan's all-new slurp-worthy ramen soups. Great flavor at a great price.
Now, when I first touched those stones, it wasn't a choice. And I don't know if it was fate or destiny, but what I do know, I'm meant to be here. Outlander, the final season premieres Monday, March 9th, only on W.
You're watching Global News at 11.
Despite a significant rescue mission following Monday's avalanche in Northern California that rescued 6 skiers, law enforcement officials today said at least 8 people are confirmed dead. A 15-person group had been skiing in a backcountry region when the incident occurred. Reggie Cicchini has the latest.
It was always a race against the clock in California's Sierra Nevada mountains, where a group of skiers, both clients and guides, have been buried in an avalanche near Lake Tahoe on Tuesday morning. The group had been in the final day of what the organizing company said was a 3-day trip through the backcountry at Castle Peak.
The group was fairly close together. The recovery was also, the bodies that were recovered fairly close together.
someone saw the avalanche, yelled avalanche, and overcame rather quickly.
6 of the skiers managed to climb out of the snow and take refuge in a makeshift shelter using electronic devices, including a radio beacon and cell phones, to contact emergency responders. They were taken out of the area, which sits at an elevation of about 2,300 meters with varying injuries. The weather conditions forced the responders to leave the 8 dead behind. The 9th is presumed dead.
Extreme weather conditions, I would say, is an understatement. Lots of snow, gale force winds.
Law enforcement say one of the dead was married to a member of the search and rescue team.
It's been a challenging rescue, but it's also been challenging emotionally for our team and our organization.
Officials say the avalanche threat was at the second highest level, 4 out of 5. And experts say in those conditions, travel isn't recommended, given human activity can trigger an avalanche. A similar slide earlier in the year killed a snowmobiler, and reports showed 3 other fatal avalanches in this region over the last 14 years. A statement from the company says it's working in full coordination with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. This area of the Sierra Nevadas is considered one of the snowiest in the Western Hemisphere and can receive more than 1,000 centimeters of snow in an average winter. Colorado Avalanche Information Center says avalanches kill at least 27 people every year in the U.S. Reggie Cicchini, Global News, Washington.
A major winter storm has buried eastern Newfoundland and Labrador. In some areas, more than 50 centimeters of snow has piled up in less than 24 hours. There's so much of it, flights are canceled in and out of St. John's, and the RCMP is warning residents and businesses not to dump snow on the roadways. Heidi Petracek reports.
It's storm after storm after storm.
St. John's resident Linda Smith and her husband Wayne are tired, digging out from the second big snowfall this month.
It has been one of the worst winters I've ever seen. And it's only February. And it's only February.
Oh.
Just crazy.
Residents out in full force, all straining to move the heavy, wet snow, and lots of it. Initial reports indicate more than 50 centimeters fell in parts of the Avalon Peninsula.
We're expecting on the high end up towards the 60 centimeters.
That's rare.
Storm kind of on the high end of the range.
Jesse and James. You remember this from the anime?
Electricity, the utility restored most by mid-morning. School was canceled throughout the hardest hit areas. Crews in the capital working full tilt, and the city's roughly $30 million snow clearing budget.
I would think that we're starting to get into the point where we don't need to have reserves. But that's what we have the reserves for a snowy day as opposed to rainy days.
Residents in the nearby town of Paradise know just how bad it is. One opening her door to find a wall of snow. It took her 2 hours to shovel out.
I got my favorite spot out by the back door, tucked between the house and the shed.
That's where Lloyd Lehman takes his snow measurements, and this time he needed a longer ruler.
It's been a while since we've had over 50 centimeters, in one go. That's not even 24 hours yet.
Police have told people to stay off the roads. Part of the Trans-Canada, a half hour outside of St. John's, shut down because it looked like this. And the storm isn't done yet. An orange storm warning remains in effect until Thursday morning.
As far as I know, we're supposed to have an early spring.
A hopeful wish from those giving the snow from this winter blast the heave-ho. Heidi Petracek, Global News, Halifax.
A warning if you plan to travel south for March break. Sorry, just ahead.
My name is Lisa Fox. I'm Sheriff of Edgewater.
Sheriff Country returns Friday, February 27th on Global.
I can see ghosts.
And then I said, that's what you said.
Blurt it out.
Ghosts returns February 26th on Global.
We're A+, Canada's leading NDT company, helping keep the energy sector strong and reliable. We deliver weld inspections, certifications, and shutdown support to keep your operations safe, compliant, and on schedule.
Our SCAR technology reduces radiography exclusion zones, so trades can keep working, cutting downtime and saving costs on every project. Across Canada, our expert team is ready when you are. Visit aplus.ca today.
Unbeatable deals on now at Pattison Ag.
we're making it easier than ever to get the power you need with unbeatable deals on select pre-owned equipment. From tractors to combines and everything in between, you'll find the equipment that fits your
Alright.
operation. Whether you're upgrading,
Starting since our head with this.
these deals won't last long. Visit Patterson Ag today and drive home unbeatable value.
Being Canadian, we know the realities of our weather, and the Canadians trust us with their glass team for a reason. It's our exceptional products and service perfected just for you. Visit one of our 50 locations across Western Canada.
It's a drag.
Join Premier Danielle Smith as she discusses the government's plan for Alberta. Watch the Premier's address to the province, airing on Global Thursday, February 19th at 6:45 p.m.
The truck with road presence. The truck with a sport performance hood. 20-inch all-black aluminum wheels. Rugged black grill. And it comes with Canada's best full-size truck limited power rated warranty. The new 2026 Ram 1500 Black Express. Starting at $56,995.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Indo Japan's all-new slurp-worthy ramen soups. Great flavor at a great price.
With that rock, this could be the tunnel shaft entrance.
Joey Silver. This year it's about finding treasure.
The Curse of Oak Island. New episodes return Sunday, March 1st on the History Channel. Stream at Stack TV, the Global TV app.
March break is just weeks away, and public health officials are issuing a warning to Canadian
Be
travelers.
back in a moment.
Measles, a highly contagious virus, is spreading rapidly, including in some popular vacation hotspots. Canadians are being urged to make sure their vaccinations are up to date before heading south. Toria Isri reports.
Mexico is a popular winter getaway for Canadians, but tourists are being urged to exercise caution as a major measles outbreak sweeps across the country.
It's very, very rare for Canadians to think about this when visiting our neighbors.
Mexico has rolled out a massive public vaccination campaign to try to prevent further spread. Since the outbreak began last year, at least 28 people have died, and cases have ballooned to more than 9,000. Public health officials say vaccine hesitancy is driving up infections across the Americas.
Where it becomes really problematic is for families traveling with young children, as an example, or babies, because we don't vaccinate babies until 12 months. It can lead to the baby acquiring measles and dying, as happened with our deaths in Canada.
Canada lost its status as measles-free last November, a distinction it held for nearly 30 years.
Currently, the areas that are most affected are Western provinces, in particular Manitoba, given the transmission of measles at a few events. The virus, which is highly transmissible, has entered into communities that are traditionally under immunized.
Cases are also spiking in the southern U.S. The United States, Mexico, and Canada are all hosting the FIFA World Cup this summer. Infectious disease specialists warn that if cases don't come under control by then, they could rise exponentially. Toria Isri, Global News, Montreal.
Health Matters is brought to you in part by the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation Mighty Millions Lottery. Visit MightyMillionsLottery.com.
And Joelle joins me once again for a look at the forecast. And we were talking about this yesterday, getting those official snowfall numbers. So now you have them, and it was a lot of snow. And I talked to Environment Climate Change Canada, and it can be difficult to get those exact snowfall numbers. So what they've done is they've combined those volunteer stations along with their own stations and come up with some amounts, some general amounts. So, funnily enough, Edmonton, big range here, 15 to 28 centimeters from February 16th to end of day yesterday, and that is because there was disparities between the measurements, more in the city center versus the airport. So that's a combination there. That's quite a bit of snow over 48 hours. But take a look at Cold Lake. 44 centimeters over those 48 hours. So really walloped by that winter storm. Now let's talk precipitation and what you can expect. This swath of snow, this is a low pressure system moving its way through Saskatchewan overnight into Thursday, bringing lots of snow with it to northern Sask, but actually clearing out of the Edmonton region and allowing just for bitter cold, but not a lot of snowfall. And then as we push forward to Friday, 7 p.m., you can see the next system here entering from BC over Grand Prairie, Jasper, might see some flurries overnight Friday into that early Saturday morning, but right now looking pretty free and clear for the Edmonton region. Now here's a look at the totals. Like I mentioned, right near that border, 2 centimeters by Friday evening, 1 centimeter in high level. Peak wind gusts, fairly gusty, northerly wind at 39 kilometers per hour, but we'll end on the wind gusts for tomorrow pretty calm, 10 kilometers an hour tomorrow morning, and those gusts will be from the south.
All right, thanks, Joelle. It's been a rough ride for cryptocurrency lately. Why it's plunged in value this winter after soaring to record highs in the fall.
I'm Phil Darlington, and this is our YEG. Ahoy there, matey. Jubilation's Dinner Theatre presents Pirates of the River Saskatchewan. Join Captain Jack and his crew for laughter and great music for all who dare to climb aboard. From the best up-and-coming local talent to Nashville's biggest stars, BBJ has one of the hottest lineups in country music. Get your 2026 tickets and campsite at BigValleyJamboree.com. For more info on our featured events, go to globalnews.ca/Edmonton.
Our YEG is brought to you by Flooring Superstores, Canada's in-stock flooring store. Visit FlooringSuperstores.com.
We don't have enough time to get everybody out.
The next one is going to be a big one.
FBI, only Monday at 9 on Global. For 125 years, the Royal Alex has cared for us. Now it's your turn to care back. Visit GiveToRoyalAlex.org and make your gift today.
Your eyes go through a lot, like staring at those things on the way to work every day.
So check their healthy with an eye exam at Specsavers from $99, which includes an advanced OCT eye health scan.
You know, I've seen an alien.
Really?
No.
Real impact feels sudden, but it's not. It's determined, fearless, built through the moments before it. It's care, shaped with community. Now we're practicing compassion. It's innovating hydrogen, transforming energy globally from right here. It's 3D printing protein to nourish patients and eventually the planet. It's for students and communities.